Hello, everybody. Welcome in. My name is Mitch, and welcome back to my little weekly segment on Jamie's video. I'm really excited to be here. And last week, I was really happy with how it went and how I went, and all the nice comments you guys all left. And yeah, I'm very appreciative for all the feedback and lots of support and love under there. So I'm really looking forward to making this a weekly endeavor. And just a massive thank you to Jamie for letting me jump on and have a bit of a thought process, have a bit of a talk, and go through some fantasy and football. I love this sort of stuff. So yeah, look forward to talking with most of you, and hopefully you guys can tolerate me for a little bit longer. But just want to quickly touch on as well. I'll be going through a few things in this video like TLT and how my Vegas players went, and some thoughts on some other Vegas players. So, quickly just looking at the team you see on the screen here, I know we see Stafford Toe with the X. This was just the exact same team that I had going into Vegas, and this was the exact layout and everything like that. So, I didn't want to, show a different side for you guys who saw my team reveal last week. This is the exact same team that I posted. I have made some changes. I am recording this 2 hours practically after TLT, which is very exciting. And I have made a few changes, which as you guys know, last week I had a plan, and FanHub have decided to screw me a little with Gemet Shibasaki. That's my own fault. And yeah, guys, I have made some changes, which I'll go through soon after talking about my Vegas players. I just wanted to go in and show you how my plans can change and deviate a little bit, just like yours. I'm pretty sure. So we're just going to go through my team heading into Vegas, and then I'll show some changes with what I've currently made up. So starting off with probably Fisher Harris is my most contentious one, like I said last week. 51. It's a lot more exciting and a lot more happy to look at than the 44 he was originally on post game. Yeah, look, this was a hard watch. He played really well, went over at a one ppm, which is really good. But just the minutes, I think from memory he played 44 minutes, which is just, oh no, not 44, sorry, like 46, which is just horrible. Like, the Warriors, they were a basket case that game, and I definitely have some problems with the way their bench rotation was used. The fact that Mitch Barnett came off after 22 minutes and then Fisher Harris after 25, that's fine, round one. I'm not going to poke too many fingers at that. Jackson Ford playing 51 minutes straight. Oh, it's a horrible decision. I'm not sure why that decision was made. I'm not sure what happened. The game was still in reach when their captains went off the field, but the game was pretty much over when they came back on. Fisher Harris definitely anyway. So I'm very happy with the score, 51. It's fine, 6, 7 points above his break even. It's not Corey Horsburgh, which we will touch on very soon, especially with my current iteration, which I've made some changes to. I'll go into detail on that. But 51, I'm happy with. I'm fine. No panic from me. He can't play that low minutes again, guys. It was a hard watch, just knowing he wasn't going to come back on the field and wasn't on the field, for a good amount of that game. But they just used all their forwards, Aaron Clark, Dylan Walker, all these guys pretty much played a lump sum and pretty much all played more minutes than Fish, which should not happen. If the Warriors don't want to be a bottom four side, they need him on the park. Same with Barnett. It's their spiritual leaders. And that's a little bit of narrative on why I picked Fish, just because, coming over to this side, he needs to be a leader. And 47 minutes, I wasn't expecting him in that AFB role, but I was expecting more than 46, 47 minutes, which I think he'll get. I'm giving him another chance. If you guys don't want to, if you guys would need to sideways trade or take someone to Corey Horsburgh if you didn't select him, I think that's fine. Something I probably won't do. I think I'll look for another route, but I think that's fine. I wouldn't trade him to Hosking though. I think Hosking showed signs where, he's not an 80-minute back rower. He had a really good game on that smaller Vegas field. He made like 44 tackles. I don't think he missed one. Excellent base. Will he do that next week? I don't know. I don't think so. But, maybe that's just because I didn't take Hosking. So, yeah, happy with Fish, guys. Yeah, I'm really happy. 51, great score. And hopefully, a few more minutes, maybe he doesn't have that 1 ppm, but 51 I'll happily take. Going to Yo, I've seen a lot of conjecture on Yo's score as well. I think it's down to a 68 in the NRL app with a try, so it's not amazing. It was on 51 at half time, which was really good. I was stoked when he crossed over. I know Jamie had him as captain, which is just awesome for him. So 68. I'm fine with. That's why I bought him for those scores. It doesn't matter how he gets there. He'll have offloads, which he didn't have any this game. He'll have attacking stats. He'll make 40 tackles, run for 100 meters. He'll usually get to that mid 60s, 60 as the floor. I'm happy with. Won't spend too much time on him. You either took him or you didn't. Non-owners will be happy. Owners will be happy. So I don't really see a problem with that. Metcalf, look, it was a hard watch. I'm stoked that, a lot of people do have him at that, 38%. So it's not a pod play to a degree. A lot of top coaches and coaches who are watching this video would have taken him. So, that's fine. It's a bad score. I think he updates to 24. After the Vegas games, he was a prime candidate to move to Horsburgh for me. But, just a really poor game. I think he had neg 18. He had like net tackles like 3 or 4, which that won't happen again. If he's still the halfback next week, next to Chanel or Tomato Martin, then I'll probably just keep him in the side. I don't like to go off sample sizes. I don't like to take one game sample sizes. So, we picked him for a reason. It was a bad game. Can't get worse than that. He scored 24. So yeah, like it is what it is. If he is your avenue to Horsburgh, then that's fine, I think, because it was something that I was cooking up a little bit. But no, I'll give him another chance, and I think he's fine. Cleary, I won't spend too much time on because 60% of people own him. I assume majority of people would have captained him as well. Besides, those Yo captainers and maybe some Terrell May captainers. So 56, it's not great, but it was a really floor game as well. He had like 630 kick meters or something ridiculous. Jack Cole had one or two kicks. So I'm happy with that. Everybody's got him. I'm not missing out on anything too crazy. With Yo and Cleary, if I was the captain Yo, it's like an extra 17 points or whatever the number is. So it's nothing. Um, yeah, very happy with Cleary. Leave him as captain next week, and he'll probably score a ton against the Roosters when they play in round 2. So with Tamale, probably my most exciting pick of the weekend. A lot of you guys would have taken him as well at 24%. It just comes down to where you would have played him. Now I kind of wish I played him in the centers because, as you guys know from TLT, Mr. Staffatoa is not there, but we'll get into that soon. Tamale, a trialist 49. He was a jet, very Brian To'o-like, attacking stats, line breaks. He was a weapon. Could have had an offload there as well, and that was an error actually. So that's a 6 point turnaround. Um, yeah, excellent pick. He'll be playable. I had no doubts in my mind that he would have lost his spot. As you could see with the makeup of this side, I was hoping I could throw Gemet Shibasaki in there at 200 and something K with the duel, and that hasn't happened yet, which we'll get into very soon, which has made me have to change my side. So yeah, Tamale, very happy with that. I can see him getting to 500K, 550K really quickly. Continue to play him, guys, each week. I see more value in looping someone else. To play a guy like that in your centers or at wing fullback in round 1, 2, 3, 4, it's just really good value. So great score. And lastly, Jack Cole. I think he did enough to keep his spot, which is really, really good. And the cheapies, they've all kind of disappeared in the last few hours. So yeah, I'm happy I took him. 29. It's fine. We'll make money. That's 10 points of value right there. So happy with that, and definitely a loop target in the next few weeks. So guys, getting into TLT now, I have made some changes. It's like I said before, I've only, this is being recorded 2 or 3 hours after TLT. So I haven't had too much time to tinker, but my side was in trouble heading into round 1, Broncos Roosters Thursday night, and let's get into that now. So this is currently what I have conjured up since TLT. Yeah, a lot of this has kind of stayed the same pretty much. Especially Gilbert, guys. So no Bateman. I've swapped Bateman to Gilbert, and that's been like that since probably a day or two before the Vegas games, just for the extra cash. And then once Corey Horsburgh went, nuts, I thought, yep, I could use that 80K a lot more effectively from Bateman to Gilbert. It's about 80, 85K or whatever the number is. And I thought I could use that cash more effectively to try and bring him in. And Gilbert, the team list for Gilbert I really like it. They've got Kurt Donahue on the bench, who's a utility, and they've got Connolly Lemuelu, who is a back rower. So they've got 2 forwards, Josh Kerr and Ray Stone. I expect Ray Stone to take some minutes from Gilbert and then potentially some forwards. But I'm a big fan of Gilbert. I had him early a lot in the preseason. And that bench is really, really nice. Got made the captain, who I do like that narrative quite a lot. Last year with Cam McInnes, I jumped on and I held him the whole year. Supposed to be Fisher Harris too, with being made the captain, and Tom Gilbert. So, like I said, he's in a forward pack with a lot of aging forwards. He's their main guy. He's their alpha. He's a young ascending player, origin player. I expect him to start slow. I'm not expecting massive things from the get-go, but that's okay. Has the duel, which is really, really handy as well. And I just think fits my side or fit it really well before the TLT carnage. And as you guys can see, I've had to maneuver a few things around. So let's get into that now. So originally, guys, as you guys know, I really planned on going cheap in the centers. I had Stafford Toa, I had Rob Toya, Jackson Purdue on the bench. So I had no wing fullback cover. So my mind was going, okay, Gemmet Shibasaki should come into the game relatively cheap. Had the duel last time he was in. So I was kind of hoping FanHub let that happen, which maybe I was being a little naive, which is fine. It happens. So staying with that plan, I Stafford Toa hasn't been named. So I had Jackson Purdue in there, and I had Jackson Purdue and Rob Toya in the centers, which is gross, but it's fine. Cheap centers, cheap centers is the way. But on my emergencies, obviously Stafford Toa has disappeared. I would have had Purdue in my starting side. There's no cheap other centers or wingers that are in the game that I like. We have Riley Smith from the Eels, who have the bench spot, who's a really, really interesting option. I know Jamie is sort of big on him. So that leaves me really, really thin in my side. And my side looked gross. It was way too top heavy, which I like, but also I had to compromise a little bit. And that means my emergency would have looked something like Jack Cole, Lachlan Hubner, you know, Sandon Smith, and then, who was that fourth spot? I'm not taking Gemmet Shibasaki at 300, if he was cheaper potentially with the duel. So my side was way too top heavy. So I've had to distribute some of that cash and give it more of an even template, which, I don't love, but it's early days right now. Kickoff's not till Thursday. I'll have plenty of time to tinker around with it. And what I've done is I've gone from Munster to Humphreys. So I really did want Munster. And what I wanted to do, I couldn't quite do from taking Munster and Gilbert and swapping them around. Which is probably a good thing in hindsight because my team is a lot more balanced this way. So I've taken Munster, sorry, to Humphreys and freed up about 200 and so cash. And I actually had already about 150K in the bank, which was for Corey Horsburgh. So I kind of set that up, Stafford Toa has kind of really disrupted my team, which is really frustrating. I was planning a lot around him getting the spot, which from all early reports so far, guys, he should be back around 2. But I'm not going to start the season with a center from a bottom 4 side. Sorry, Tigers fans, who should be back, may not be back. If the Tigers beat the Knights this week, does he make the side? So I'll wait for him to be named and I'll just plan accordingly. And with that, I just had to balance my side out a little bit more. So I've taken Cam Munster to Humphreys. Again, I'm taking a big punt on Humphreys that he keeps the spot. The Rabbitohs have got Sullivan at 14. So I expect Mamazoulis to get subbed off for that and Humphreys to actually play the 80, whether or not he plays most of the game at halfback and then some time at hooker. So I'm just going to take a punt. I've always been keen on him, but my other draft just didn't allow me to kind of get him in. I wanted to play Thomas Duffy. I still do, and I will be. So if I wanted to get Humphreys in my previous draft, I wouldn't have been playing him as a 250K guy. He would have been sitting in my emergencies. So this allows me to play Humphreys. I get to play Duffy, and I'm taking a risk that he holds that spot. Lewis Dodd's no superstar, and he played really, really poor in the trials. So if he comes back next week into the halfback spot, I'll have to eat it. But it's a risk I'm willing to take for this side. I've wanted Humphreys in. I just haven't been able to fit him in. And that's the big thing too, guys, I want to reiterate. Last week when I did my team reveal, that was my team at the time heading into Vegas, which I really liked. But I've had, like I said last week, a good 12 or 13 serious drafts. So not really where I just put guys in that I like. I've taken them all very seriously and I've been all confident in taking. I could have walked into round 1 with those drafts in that period of time. And Humphreys was in quite a few at that price point who I really, really like. And that's allowed me to go up from one of these really, really, dud guys to a Ruben Garrick, who just, again, guys, he's been in quite a few of my drafts, him and Ponga, just Ponga and just Garrick. But I think this allows me to have some cover in the centers. I've got Garrick with the duel, Tamale in the duel. I'm not sure if I will go this way. I've just changed. I made a quick change, like I said, guys, 2 or 3 hours after TLT round one. So just for now, I like Garrick. I like Ponga. They both got the duel with Tamale as well. So it just really balances out the side. I do miss out on Munster, which I don't love. But just for now, I think I'm going to leave it like this. So I have, I've got three duels there in mid and edge with Hopgood, Gilbert, and Seyfarth. I've got Garrick in the centers. Tamale, I'm really happy with it. Get to keep Ponga as well. And, a lot of things could happen. There's a world where Tamale eventually, he could lose his spot. It is Ricky Stewart. I don't think he will, but these are some things we have to kind of take into account. Ponga with the round four bye as well. So going with Garrick, I can just switch it around a little bit. I would have loved Lucas as well, but I can't find that 100K right now. If I can, maybe there's a way where I do that. But Garrick just allows some flexibility with their buys as well. Like I think he plays every major or minor buy, one of those two guys. So, I'm picking Garrick if I end up going with this way. I'm picking Garrick and I'm locking him in my centers all year. I'm looking at that. Unless he does his knee or he has a long-term injury, something or other like that, I make a trade. But I'm happy with Garrick there. He plays the Cowboys this week. If he comes out and scores 40, it is what it is. It's a long-term game for him. He's going to have those boom games. Goal kicking allows him to have a higher floor. So this is what I've gone with right now. It still lets me be very, very top heavy with Hopgood there, who I love. It's a great bench for him, I think, from TLT just gone. Gilbert, who I've been really keen on as well. And then again, my top three mids, I'm really, really happy with. The only thing that really hurts this current draft is trying to get Corey Horsburgh in next week. So I didn't end up taking him. I was really set in stone on that. I didn't make any late changes because if it went pear-shaped, I would have hated myself. I wasn't too keen on him last week, but, Tarpanay suspended for 2 weeks. It just helps Corey Horsburgh's floor. Played 60 minutes, played the whole first half. I got out of that one very, very lucky. Me and Jamie were texting back and forth like, oh, why have we not picked him? Is our season over already? No. But so with the other iteration that you've just seen, if Starfatoa would have been named, I would have kept that side the exact same. And I would have been going into round two with about 150K in the bank. And it would have been really easy to make a straight swap. So I'm going to have to try to look for another way to get him in. I think he will be coming into my side. I just don't want to ruin my round one team. I want to be happy with my round one team heading into round two, and I can sort it out then. Trading in round two, three, four, trading early is really beneficial. It's good to save trades, but these early rounds, you want to fix your mistakes, get the guys who, are there and have value. And it's okay to correct your mistakes. We're not perfect. I didn't like Corey Horsburgh before. I like him now after seeing him. So there's nothing wrong with that, guys. Absolutely nothing. If you picked him for Vegas, great job. You got a cracking score. I think he updated to 57 or whatever that number is. You know, 17 points above his break even. Happy days. So I'm going to jump on, and there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, guys, this is pretty much my side heading into round one so far. I will have a big play around with it again up and coming the next couple of days, and this side is very well balanced. I do miss out on Munster. Humphreys, I'm taking a punt on. Maybe there's a world where they score similarly. We're not sure. He played really well in the trials. If he doesn't keep his spot, then I'll fix it up. It's fine. We get plenty of trades. We get like 1,000 of them. So yeah, that's my side heading into round one. B, as of now, I do expect some changes. So yeah, I might touch a little bit on the team list. You guys would have watched Jamie's video. He went into very, very good detail on those team lists, so I won't bore you too much. Just a few of the picks that I really, really like. Some of them are in my side, actually. Like I said before, Hopgood, that bench is excellent for him. I think he'll be playing 60, 65 minutes, probably a little bit more than 60, probably 65, I'd say. Gilbert, I really like that bench for. However, I do think he will start slow, which is totally fine. He's coming off some pretty bad injuries, but the Dolphins need him. So, when that happens, theoretically he should be playing some big minutes. Hopefully he can do well. Being priced at 37, I think he can. But the big one that I wanted to touch on was Jacob Preston. If you guys watched my video last week, you would know that I have been pretty keen on Preston. He's been in a few of my drafts and killed it in the trial. But that bench with Sitili Tupanua and Salmon this week, I think Curran will replace Salmon from next week. I'm just not sure Preston will get the 80 minutes. He should. He's one of their best players, probably one of their best forwards. But Serraldo really prefers Kickout as that, 80-minute guy, which is strange. I think Preston that he does that beautifully. He makes his 30, 40 tackles, runs his 100 meters. He was getting 80 minutes. There's a world where I try to fit him in. I just can't right now. So, there's a few other interesting picks. I think the Broncos bench is really, really good for your Payne Haas. Very light. So he should be playing really, really big minutes. The other one that I probably want to touch on too before I end this video is the emergencies here on my side. They're all pretty much good except Hubner. I'm not too sure. He kind of gives me trap vibes, to be honest. They have a plethora of forwards to South. So I'm not sure if I end up taking him, but a starting mid at 250k, pretty hard to ignore. So yeah, he's in there for now. Sandon, Purdue, I'll be taking those guys. Coles have already played, so yeah, just a little bit of an update on my side heading into the proper round one. I wouldn't be surprised if there are some changes, but this is what I'm going with right now. I like the balance. Fitting in Garrick and Ponga, I'm really, really happy with, while not really hurting my bench too much. Gun forwards, I'm happy with. So, yeah, this is my side. Like I said last week, guys, if you have any questions or comments or feedback, jot it down in the comment section. I'll look at every comment and I'll look at, if you have any questions as well, I'll jump in and answer all those on my personal account and love to have a yarn too. I love to talk footy and fantasy. And yeah, thanks for coming back for another round of my little segment. I can't wait to have many more and get better and better as the weeks go on. So thanks for watching, guys, and good luck this week.